Hello everybody, I hope you all had a really awesome Sunday. I know I did. I had the most epic Sunday ever. I went to a place called Monkey Forest, which is about an hour away from my house, and basically it's 60 acres of a forest and there's just monkeys just running around, just walking around, and you get to just walk around the forest and see monkeys. And when I initially went there, I thought, it's probably just gonna be a few monkeys in the trees. We're not really gonna see that many. But I saw like 30 or 40 monkeys just chilling, and they're all just right in front of your face. They literally walk right in front of you. They're just messing with their babies in front of you. They're having fights and fun and eating. And it was just awesome to be able to be that close to monkeys, a group of monkeys, and experiencing them living in their own natural environment. It was just awesome. I loved it. I'm going again. It was epic. And also, for anyone that is interested in sports or sports related stuff, today was the Wimbledon final for men, and for the first time in 77 years, a male British dude won Wimbledon. So that was really awesome. I love being a part of epic history time moments. I love that because I can be like, yeah, you know, I was there, I watched it, I was there with my mother, my family, watching that when he won. So that was really awesome. I just had a great Sunday. Sunday was just awesome, and it's hot as freaking hell in my office because it's like 90 degrees and we don't have AC. So I'm trying to get this video done quickly so I can turn my fan back on and not sweat my ass off. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about the gameplay. Well, not actually the gameplay, just about Call of Duty in general. And I wanted to give you guys some tips that I've learned to try and help my team bring home the win. If you're struggling to win with your team, you can do these things and hopefully win. And I also want to let you guys know about my favorite loadout, as in gun, perks, streaks, and everything, that I would just use over and over again and love it and never get bored of it. So just to explain the gameplay really quickly, we actually end up losing this game. I know that's a little bit of a spoiler. Maybe I should have said spoiler alert, but we end up losing this game. And the only reason that we ended up losing is because I started doing bad. And some people have said that sounded arrogant, but it's kind of the truth. I was doing well by my standards anyway and getting streaks and doing my thing. And then as soon as I died off my kill streak, I started doing bad and I was dying. I was still getting kills, more kills than I was dying, I think. But I was dying. So we ended up losing. And I was just looking at the screen at the end of this match like, what? What? We were so ahead of them. Look at the score right now. We were so ahead of them. So I decided to just use this gameplay for me to illustrate or just talk about how I could have won this game, or what I would do in order to have a higher likelihood of me actually winning games. So the first thing that I do when I notice that I'm getting teams that don't seem to be that amazing, or even if I'm not doing that great myself, is I change my score streaks to UAV, counter UAV, and VSAT. These are known as the support streaks. I call it the help a brother out streaks. But this is, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? You permanently have vision on the map because UAVs are incredibly easy to get and fast to get, especially if you have hardline on. If you have hardline on, you are cheesing, bro. But if you have hardline on, you'll get it really quickly. Counter UAVs stop everyone who on your team is not using ghosts from being seen on the map, everyone who's not using a silencer, and then because you're using UAV and counter UAV and those assists are stacking up, you get your VSAT really quickly. So you guys have permanent vision of the enemy team, and the enemy team has very limited vision of you. So those streaks are always really amazing to use if you want to stop losing. It's very rare that your team will do bad when you're constantly pumping out those streaks for them, because why would they lose? If they're losing when you're constantly having VSATs in the air, there's something wrong with them. Just saying, there's something wrong with them. The next thing that I will do is I will realize that, okay, I have to carry a little bit harder than I usually have to do. So I will switch to the guns that I feel most comfortable with. And this might be kind of like a duh thing to do, but I think especially at this point in time of Call of Duty's life cycle for Black Ops 2, you want to experiment with different guns. You want to try different things. But if your team is losing or you're having a bad time, switch to your best guns. Your best guns. So for me, if it's an assault rifle, I would switch to the M27 or the AN94. And if I want to use an SMG, I would just pick up the MSMC. Usually, if I'm struggling or my team is struggling, I will use the MSMC and be able to break that just bad luck cycle. So now moving on to my favorite class loadout that I'm using right now, that I would use every single game if you guys didn't say Freaking what? What are you doing? Why are you constantly using that setup? Use something different. I would use this all the time. So my gun, the MSMC with either quick draw and fast mags or fast mags and silencer, depending on what I feel I need to use. Sometimes you'll come up against the enemy team that are very aware of their radar, and as soon as you shoot, they're like, oh, what's going on? And like 5 of them just converge on you and kill you. Sometimes you can get away with not using a silencer. So it really depends on the enemy team. I will usually have one class with a silencer and one class without a silencer. In terms of assault rifles, my favorite assault rifle is still the M27. I just love that gun. So I will use that with stock and silencer, or stock and quick draw, or stock and fast mags, depending on what I feel I need to use. In terms of my perks, for my MSMC class, I use Ghost, Hardline, Scavenger, and Dexterity, and I will use C4 and a concussion grenade. Always a concussion grenade. I don't use any other type of tactical equipment because concussion grenades are the best, in my opinion. And for my assault rifle class, I use Ghost, Scavenger, Toughness, Dexterity, Concussion Grenade, and C4. Now, the reason that I use Toughness on the Assault Rifle class and not the SMG class is because when you're up close to someone, you don't really need Toughness because you're so close to them. The likelihood of your gun just hitting them anyway, regardless of whether it's jumping or not, is really, really, really high. But if you get into a long-range gunfight with somebody and you don't have Toughness on, it's much harder to stay on target. So that's why for assault rifles, I tend to always run with Toughness. I can get used to it again if I played without Toughness for like a week on assault rifles, but it's much easier. I'll put it like that. It's easier if you just use Toughness on your assault rifles. And for score streaks, honestly, my favorite score streak setup to use is the UAV, counter UAV VSAT, just because it enables you to have more gun-on-gun action, which for me is a lot more fun than just dropping a swarm or whatever. Plus, it enables you to be super, super hyper aggressive because you constantly know where everyone is. So try out those loadouts, guys. Let me know what you think of them, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.